Hello, glass of cannabis. It's been a glorious year. I want someone in here to stand to their feet and tell me their best way to smoke. Who will it be? You right here. What's your name, girl?
Not him. It don't really matter when we all agree. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling it up. Smoke like I ain't had enough. What's your best way to smoke? Cause I'm rolling it up.
What's up with y'all out there? This the Best Way to Smoke podcast, and you smoking with Big J.
And Serpo Jr. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.
Yep. Please hit that subscribe button and like and tell a friend. Look, we want to thank y'all for everybody that tune in and check out the Best Way to Smoke podcast. As y'all can see, we in a different setting today. So we got some love for from Solomon, the podcast place. He switched it up a little bit, so we got a new setting. We'll be in the old setting too, though, but
Yeah,
I like
what
this
y'all
look.
think about it.
Yeah, for sure. But look, though, we going to get into the best way to smoke tip, and the tip is, look, when you rolling up weed, even if you're smoking by yourself or smoking with other people, don't roll no pinheads. Don't roll shit up with the air pockets in it and stuff like that, though. I don't care if you smoking hemp or whatever you smoking, you know what I'm saying? But we don't want to smoke nothing with no motherfucking air pockets.
Man, I think that's where people get them headaches and all that shit from.
Man.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. You don't want to, like, especially if you by yourself. I mean, you could probably get away with it. Ain't nobody right there, but don't go with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And you got like a pincher in the middle and then a pincher like later on down the end. Like, so that's pretty much at least have like 1.5 grams.
Yep.
You'll be safe.
Yeah, 3 grams.
3 grams.
Yeah, 3 grams. Look, especially if you, and then, you know, a lot of y'all smoke the backwoods. You know, a lot of people be on the backwoods. You definitely can't roll no backwood like that, though. Don't have no air pockets in the backwood.
Migraine right there.
Man, that's a migraine, for real, though. But look, so we're going to jump into the show, man. The first topic we want to talk about is a case in Mississippi, a guy named Alan Russell, 38 years old. He was convicted in 2019 of life in prison for possession of marijuana. So I know people probably looking like, damn, possession of marijuana, life in prison, that shit don't really equal though. But he had priors for what they consider violent crimes in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of restricted him and got him in the situation to where he sitting up with life in prison for marijuana possession.
Yeah, I know, like, when we was talking earlier, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you were saying, like, the stuff I was talking about, it was kind of, like, conflicting. Because it's like us as, like, cannabis advocates, you know what I'm saying, we on the road to trying to legalize it.
Right.
That's really, like, one of our big missions. And it's like, with this Alan Russell dude, he's done something before a certain law changed.
Yeah.
So you have, like, certain men and women that has been incarcerated behind cannabis. And it's like, is now on the road to being like federally legalized. That means it's like decriminalization, certain convictions overturned, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And that's with the change of the law.
Right.
So with the Russell brother, it's like he done something at one point in time that wasn't considered to be violent within Mississippi, but then time passed and they passed a law to make it violent.
Right.
And it's like, I was like, pretty much you told me that's where like it's kind of conflicting with what I'm saying, because I was like, it was non-violent when he committed one of his priors.
Right.
But then it came to be a violent crime. All right. And then like once you brought that to my attention, I was like, all right, well, if that's the case, then if you got marijuana, that's not violent. It's a non, like to us, the cannabis advocates, it's
Right.
like it's non-threatening. It's nothing to have a life sentence behind.
Right.
I mean, life, come on, dude. Like, really? And it's like we fighting so hard for stuff like this to not happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just because this young man out there, we don't know like the full story of what's what. And it's like, and as we speak about like the past stuff that he's done, he got out for it, obviously.
Right.
and he's moving around freely. And it's not like he's going in sticking up some bank or low life and whatever it may be. We don't know this. But to my knowledge of what I see is just you have a possession. It's not with the intent to sell or do anything of the such.
Right.
And it's like I can be working very, very hard. And this may be like, all right, my monthly re-up or whatever it may be for me to, after a hard day's work, this is how I find my best way.
Right.
You know, I can be on, like the brother could have been on that type of mission, but now you just look at my past for this and you want to give me a life sentence behind marijuana. I can be a changed man.
And like you said, it wasn't like possession of sales. That's a good point. It wasn't possession of sales. It was just a possession. You know, and it was just a little bit over an ounce, 30 grams. You know, so it just make you think about the trap that's always been set up with the judicial system, you know, with African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of the times with the way the laws are set up, you know, we got our choices to make choices and do shit. So it's just about knowing the predicament that you could put yourself in with doing certain things, man, and especially in certain places where laws are different, because they was real strict, and they are real strict on with their cannabis laws.
Yeah. Look, it's something else inside that article I did want to note. It's a judge. She made a comment in this article saying the purpose of the criminal justice system is to punish those who break the law, of course, but then from making similar mistakes and give them the opportunity to become productive members in society. And the fact that judges are not routinely given the ability to exercise discretion in sentencing all habitual offenders is completely at odds for this goal. And it's like pretty much what that is saying is just because a person make a mistake to where it's like you have to do any type of rehabilitation, whether it be in a state facility, a federal facility, a medical facility, whatever it is to be like rehabilitated,
Right.
it should be used as such.
Right.
And it's like from what this judge is saying, it's like just because this brother has certain past actions, you don't have to don't judge that person because of what he's done. Like, what are you doing now? If you can prove like now that like, all right, I am a productive member in society. I am like valued as a family man, as a dad, a brother, a nephew, a cousin, whatever it may be. And it's like none of that is being considered when the whole goal is to, all right, punish those who do bad. Once you do bad, there's a lesson to be learned. Now, once this lesson is learned, okay, you should be like given the freedoms of
a citizen.
You know. But then again, if you do break the law,
Deal with the
really
consequences.
break the law,
Right.
you know, yes, deal with those consequences because that's something that you've done. But if you're doing correctly, man, acknowledge me when I'm right, correct me when I'm wrong.
Right.
Simple as that.
And then, you know, like the catch-22 in his case, you know, like me and you talked about before, as far as him being already convicted of something and then the law changing in what he was convicted in. It's like we always talk about we want weed to be decriminalized, so on a federal level, so people can get out of jail.
Exactly.
And people can get cases up off of them and shit like that. So that shit kind of works hand in hand. You know, it's fucked up that's the way that the system is built. But it works both ways, though. You know what I mean? And it shows that it's a flaw in the system.
Yeah, it's a major flaw in the system, and it's like like as far as what I can do with stuff like this, it's like I'm pretty sure like somewhere down the line I can come up with some type of like nonprofit to help like ex-felons.
Right.
You know, if you're doing something productive, and it's like, man, it's like we deserve rights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking from straight experience. It's like, yeah, I have made some mistakes within my own past. But literally today is what have I done today You know, and it's like, man, I've been like
Like that
11
Janet
years,
Jackson
like
song.
11 years out of trouble.
What have you done for me lately? Type shit.
Man, and what I have done lately, I've been paying taxes every year. I go to work.
On your
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? It's
Yep.
I form bonds with my family,
Yep.
stronger bonds with my mother, my father.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, man, I've been doing things like to show my rehabilitation. I have done wrong, but yes, I have learned something.
Yep.
So
That's a fact, though.
since
That's
I
a
have
fact.
learned something,
Yep.
man, for everybody else that's out there, man, we learn from our mistakes.
For sure.
We not all just toe up.
See, and in that realm, not to get too far off the subject, it's a lot of people that once they get caught up in the system, they feel like they can't do nothing. There's nothing out there for them to do because they have a record, or it's gonna be a hindrance on their life type shit though. Which to a certain degree it is, but it's still a lot of opportunity.
Yes,
Cause
indeed.
like you just spoke of, you experienced that, I experienced that, and we were still able to pull ourselves up out of the bull crap and all the the distractions of life and shit that you can get
Yeah.
caught up in, and to be positive. So it's definitely fucked up that he is experiencing that. Like he's not even getting the possibility of parole. It's life in prison without the possibility of parole.
And that's what that upholds mean.
Right.
That they said in the article.
Right. And he was sentenced in 2019. He just went up for appeal, and he was denied the appeal. The new judge that was over the case upheld his sentence. So it's basically like based off how their laws is structured in Mississippi, he don't have no action right now of getting out.
Yeah. And it's like really the purpose of us really like sharing this right here. Of course, we're in California. This is way in Mississippi. But it's cases like this in a lot of different states to where it will not be heard outside of that state, county, or whatever it may be to receive any type of help.
Right.
And it's like we're really trying to get this message up out there because yes, this is in Mississippi. Yes, it is concerning cannabis. Never mind whatever the person past or stuff may be. If it's deserving, it's deserving. If it's not, it's not. And in my opinion, I believe it's not. Marijuana is like, come on now. And it's like the man could have been doing something productive. So it's like share the word. If you can like do some type of research to help the fund of something that's out there. The article, it is tagged in the video. So just check it out, and see what your thoughts about it is.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's good to stay informed because, like you said, even though it's in Mississippi, it still affects other areas and stuff like that, though. Other states, because stuff like this is going on everywhere, and for it to be highlighted is definitely a plus, because it's kind of fucked up, though, that you can just lose your life for a simple possession charge, regardless of what your priors are. It wasn't a violent charge. I could see if you had prior charges, and then you committed a crime, like a violent crime or something like that, though. But for a simple possession of marijuana, it wasn't crack, it wasn't fucking heroin, it was marijuana. Where in a lot of states, and I'm pretty sure they have, in Mississippi, they have some kind of medical dispensaries and shit like that out there, though, where you can get it medically. So they making money off the shit, though. They somehow profiting off of it, and you still can be convicted and put in that situation, though. So yeah, it's definitely good to stay aware, man. But look, we gonna move on.
Look, real fast. Just two things before we go. Inside that article, they do have an attachment as far as the case file, as far as with this marijuana stuff, so you can see that. And then it's just pretty much like a rhetorical question, you know what I'm saying, for this particular case. It's like he got a life sentence for the marijuana. He got picked up for the marijuana and they gave him a life sentence for the past stuff or whatever it may be, / the habitual offender.
Right.
So once marijuana is federally legal, and I'm saying once it's legal, meaning like it's going to happen, does this brother's life sentence get overturned then?
Out of there. That's why it's important. Good point. That's why it's important to like highlight these kind of stories and like especially at a time right now where in a few months it's gonna be voted up on.
Yes.
You know, so it's important to highlight this shit, man, and get stories like this out there because it happens every fucking where. You know, but look, and just think about what's going on right now with Britney Griner in Russia. She's sitting up, been in jail, I think, since like February, and going back and forth to court, and they just reprimanded her to stay locked up while she's going back and forth to court until is whatever's decided for her. And she's looking at up to 10 years in prison in Russia.
Yeah, this another one that kind of like stood out kind of to me too. And as you see, it's like it's reported by NBC.
Yeah. Scroll it up.
She's an athlete. You know what I'm saying? As you see it, she's an athlete, and she's an athlete. Like I don't want to keep like possibly playing like a type of race card or whatever it may be, but she's an athlete of color. And it seems like every time it comes to people of color with marijuana, it seems like it's overly exaggerated.
Right.
You know, it's like you can, like, I'm not all the way like fully sure to the extent of why they choosing to go this route, but what I'm reading, it's like, man, it's a vaporizing pen.
Right.
You know? So if vaporizing pen, like hash oil, as they mentioned in the article, if that's worth 10 years, I mean, like, come on, man. Like, if that's like other people that's like not of color, it's not highlighted like this. And it's like she has something to lose. It ain't like she's like a lowlife.
Right.
You know, she got a fan base. She's a good player.
Yeah.
She's an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when you're on the verge of like really legalizing certain things. And like across countries, it's certain I'm not
it's different out there though.
Yeah, but like really though, in some of these other countries, I'm not like right off the top of my head, you know what I'm saying, the ones that like actually legalize some of this stuff and decriminalized weed already. Right. Overseas, some of these foreign countries, they have done that already.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like for this one to be like this, it's like, all right, this is, you know what I'm saying, you have an international athlete, you know, it's like, I'm just using a vaporizing pen. Pretty much, it's like I'm doing this to be discreet. Right. You know, it's like I'm not using the flower to where it's like, you know, we flower smokers. We can hotbox some shit.
Right.
But this vaporizing pen, it's like I can be discreet. You know, it's like I'm not hurting anybody. But then you want to like this is really messing up this young lady's career. You know, sure. like I can be practicing, I can be making myself better. You know,
yeah, because she should have been out of there. And like in this article right here, it's talking about the timeline. Scroll it down some more. Yeah, like right there. Yep, like the timeline. When she was out there in January playing ball, she got arrested in February 17th at the airport. You know, back and forth to court from March to April, May, June. You know, and she just went to court, and that's when they, you know, let her know that she has to stay in there until this is done, whether she's going to get the time or whether she's going to get released. But it looked like they trying to make an example out of her.
Example.
And, you know, you got to look at what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, the U.S., and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. All the political part plays a part in it, and it's fucked up. You know, that she just so happened to get caught up at a time like this. You know, because maybe, you know, if all these things wasn't going on, it probably wouldn't be highlighted as such, you know, in the way that it's highlighted right now. You know what I mean? So, you know, I feel bad for her, though. And in the article, it say that she was elected to be on the All-Star team, the WNBA All-Star team. Which is cool that they still elected to honor her in that way, you know, because
I just want to know, like, what made them, like really pretty much single this young lady out. Because, like, I know, like, you can travel with certain things, but then certain places have their own restrictions. But, like, tobacco vapors, you know, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, they may get checked or something because it may be battery operated or something like that.
Right.
They go through a certain check, but, like, how did they get through it to know to where it's like, all right, I need to test this and know that this is hash oil or whatever it may be. Like really, what was the circumstances for you to go through? Because they say it was a Moscow airport. So
Right.
as you're in the airport, you pretty much searching my luggage or whatever it may be.
Right.
Like, what was the reason for you to come search my luggage to like get through this?
She, as you said, she is an athlete. She's a person who a lot of people know, right? So think about what's going on in this time right now with these different countries.
It's straight up discrimination or whatever.
Right? It's definitely discrimination. But if they could punish America in some kind of way, this is punishment right here. We got one of you guys' top women athletes out here, and she can't come home because she committed a crime she did something that's considered a crime in our country. So now she's dealing with the consequence more severe than probably somebody else would because of who she is.
Yeah, that's cold.
But it is cold, but it's just a catch-22, and it sucks that she got caught up in the way. She should have honestly had, maybe one of her people's carrying her shit for her. She shouldn't have actually been the one with the pen on her. Or she should have had some kind of information on what she can travel with out there. Because, you definitely want to know what you can travel with.
But we possibly don't know, like, those details. It's like for her to have it that way, because it seemed as if, like, it wasn't trying to be hidden. It's like you just went through the luggage or whatever it may be.
But then you could look at it, too, like it's her bad then. You should know what the fuck the law
All right, so,
is.
but like, what if, like, they may have allowed this sometime before? But now that with the shit that's going on with the Ukraine and stuff like that, oh, this is America. Oh, let's get this. You know what I'm saying? This is a prominent American athlete. It may have been allowed sometime before, but now it's like, all right, let's set this example. It's at war. What they say is no fair in love and war, or all is
Right.
whatever the hell.
That's definitely that's definitely that's definitely a possibility, and I believe like strongly that could be the reason. And like I said a few minutes ago, of course that's why it's being publicized how it is and why they treat her the way she is within the statute of the law in their country.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They just punishing her to the utmost. She could have got released and been released and been able to be at her hotel and go to court.
I'm looking at something like I'm going through. I'm scanning through like certain things about the young lady, and it's like I'm strongly believing that like it's a strong possibility of discrimination because of who she is and what she stands for.
Cause it ain't no strong possibility. It is discrimination, and on top of that, right? She's black too. She's an African American woman, so that all plays a part. But I think in this situation, more than what her race is, it's that she's an American.
Yeah,
more so than anything. That's what I believe, because she's an American.
Mm-hmm.
The race part most definitely probably plays a part. And she's gay. Just say what it is though. It's some in some places, some countries that don't accept that. So that's just what it is. I mean, we can't hide that shit and sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying it's discrimination.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would your like just say like if you was out there and got caught up and you was in that situation in her shoes, like what would you be telling your lawyer, the person that's representing you, like, man, you got to get me out of here, man. Has this ever, like, what would you be asking them?
Like, man, that's a real scary situation. You know what I'm saying? You on foreign land right there. It's like me. I'm like me personally. Like when I was living that type of lifestyle, like all honesty, I would have rather like if I got picked up and I had to go start to serve some time, I would rather get picked up around my own stomping grounds.
Right.
Meaning like we finna have to go through LA County.
Right.
Versus like me getting in Mississippi somewhere. It's like I'm off my grounds. Now this is American. you over here in some foreign land. So it's like it ain't no telling like how that's gonna go. So my main thing would be it's like if I'm in that position, like I'm a star player for my state professional basketball team. You know what I'm saying? I'm a star for my overseas team. So that means like I have a big following. My big following, they should know my character, whatever it may be. So it's like I'm pretty much gonna reach out to all my peers, you know what I'm saying, foreign and domestic,
Right.
you know, to like really get my bag in because it's like this right here, you know what I'm saying, this is pretty much character assassination.
Mm-hmm.
Just allow them to know, like,
look at that though. Even with like look at everything that's been happening and shit with that, like how it's been highlighted. A lot of people speaking out about it. It don't fucking matter. She's still sitting where she's sitting at until she go to court until they resolve the situation, whether she gonna do time or not.
yeah.
It don't matter who got her back, who speaking up for it. That shit, it don't matter.
But it's like it's still like the same case of the Ball brother when he was overseas and he did the little shoplifting or whatever it may be. At that case in time, this carried a whole hell of a lot of time.
Right.
You know, the only difference with this right here is like it wasn't a war then. It may have been the war on COVID,
Right.
you know, but it wasn't like America and like I'm not all the way sure about like what's going on with the little war in Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? I just know that like it's some type of invasion type shit going down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you invade, you know what I'm saying, on some type of foreign land and you representing these people that's doing the invading, oh yeah, we got one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Back in those times, like when we was doing it, you step behind enemy lines. We got one.
Got one. Yeah.
And if you one of the ones that's over there, you can either fall victim to it or you can just stand up and really fight your way up out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta fight it. You gotta stand strong, stand tall, believe in your defense team.
Yeah.
Just believe. Whoever your higher power, whatever that may be, you know, stand strong and like go through the fight. If you cave in, you stuck on foreign land.
Man, stuck like a
That
truck.
shit's scary.
Yeah,
bro.
it is scary.
I done watched little cold documentaries about some Russia tough prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Russia, that motherfucker. Oof.
See, but I doubt that they treating her bad. But it's just
a
the
simple
fact that they got her booked.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a
she
simple
booked.
fact, yeah.
We got you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we got one. You know? Look, before we move on to the next topic, you know, I want to shout out our Best Way to Smoke grinders. You can catch them on our website, www.bestwaytosmoke.com. They 4-level grinders, and they'll, you know, grind that shit up and roll it up.
I like those too, though. Because it's like I've been coming to the little fact. Sometimes I've been getting lazy. And it's crazy because, like, the best way to smoke tip was, like, don't be rolling them pinheads.
Mm-hmm.
My weed roller, like, I packs it.
Yeah.
But the roller, you know what I'm saying, packs it up. It ain't no pinhead. It's buds up in the bud.
Right,
But
right.
it's like, I like those grinders. The best way to smoke grinders due to the simple fact it breaks your bud down, like, real good. It ain't breaking it down to dust.
Right.
You know, it's breaking it down
To where it
so
need
to
to
where
be.
it's like you can really find your best way to smoke.
Yeah, yeah. So look, what's your best way to smoke? What you been blowing on lately?
Lately, I had like a mixture of ice cream cake and Tahoe OG.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was cool buzz. You know, I smoked them like separately. Like we discussed it before just to see what's what. But you know, I like to mix my bud up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just came across a little batch of a Marathon OG.
Okay.
So I just want to see what that's built for. So
It's the real marathon?
I'm finna find out.
Oh, everything.
You know, I just got it. You know, it's a grower. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not finna no. Like, if give me my honest answer, no, it ain't Marathon OG because it ain't come from that growth system.
Right.
I know, like I don't know that growth system, but I'm aware of that growth system, and it didn't come from that growth system.
Right.
It may just be somebody got some Marathon
But
like
it's probably
seeds
fire
or something.
though, yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
Man, on everything.
It's green. It's fluffy.
It's fluffy.
It's crystal.
So it's like the fluff.
Yeah, in that aspect, yep, I would call it the fluff.
The
Yep.
fluff. For sure.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
the fluff. Like from that lessons right there. My ice cream cake was the what was the other one? The not the fluff, but the condensed one, the hard.
Yeah.
Whatever the hard one was. You know what I'm saying? That was my ice cream cake.
Mm-hmm.
But the fluff, my Tahoe OG was fluff, and this Marathon OG look fluff.
It's fluff. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I've been off some Gary Payton and the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that mix right
I
there.
want to
though.
ask a question for the viewers too, though, as far as like, cause me and Big J been talking about that the smoke from the ash.
Right.
You know, like the gray smoke and the dark smoke.
Yeah, we was talking about that with Lebo and JT. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like from our little research or whatever it may be, like me and Big J, we both like asked each other the questions about it. Depending on what you smoking your bud in, seems to determine the color of your ash. So it's like I believe like some people that's like on a tobacco base, like the Swishers, you know, backwoods and stuff like that, you're gonna get some dark ash. We on hemp, you know what I'm saying, and we still get the little dark hash, and that's coming from, I mean, the dark ash, not hash, but it's coming from the material of what we smoking in.
Cause the other ones was guava. The other ones is guava, right?
Camo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those the guava, and I seen with those you still the ash was kind of dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But with the high hemps, it was, gray.
Yeah. And that's what I did notice though. It's like if you paying attention to like really what's going on, the material you smoking out of is going to burn its way. But then if you look in there, you'll see the bud burning. And then you can see like the gray ash, the dark ash, or however that may go.
So I think like the better test would probably be to smoke that shit in a bone or some shit.
You take a
really
bone
see,
hit and
to really see what the shit, what the ash
Yeah.
gonna look like. But look though, we want to talk about this California drought. Everybody been affected behind the drought. Whether you can only water your grass for a certain amount of time, all them different stipulations, and you know what I mean? But we finna talk about this though. The drought prompts legalization to increase fines for water population for illegal grows. So basically what they trying to do is crack down on illegal growers. It's this bill, Assembly Bill 2728. In my opinion, it's another way to just be able to crack down on, people that's growing illegally.
Gotta be.
And like I say right there, it would increase fines for illegal cultivation to $1,000 for each day of violation, and $2,500 for each acre foot of water diverted. And if that measurement isn't specified, $500 per plant. So just imagine if somebody had on an acre, you could probably get 100 plants on an acre.
Probably.
So now just imagine if they came in with this stipulation, this is gonna scare a lot of motherfuckers off from doing that shit though. Like for real though, like if it's crackdowns in certain communities, areas type shit, and they monitoring the water output, it's gonna scare a lot of people off from growing. Unless they can outsource the water from somewhere though. But $500 per plant. So just imagine if it's 100 plants, $500,000.
That's crazy because it's like we were just talking about, like, I forget the actual assembly bill, but it's the assembly bill as far as like the small growers, the farmers or whatever it may be.
Right.
It's crazy how they use an acre inside of this new stuff that's coming in right now. How they're trying to put with the water or whatever it may be. They just passed the bill to where it's like small growers, as far as, just an acre worth of grow. You can get out here and hit the little farmer's market when you got the permits, this, that, and the other. So now they trying to hit you with some water stuff.
Right.
So now outside of you paying your taxes, your fees, or whatever it may be for you to grow, Now they trying to like, you know what I'm saying, strict down on water usage.
Right.
You know,
But it's not going to affect, as long as them small growers with the acre, as long as they're legal, their paperwork is right, it's not going to affect anybody that's running a business.
no, it's just something else
legitly.
to have to put on their brain to think
Right.
about, to worry about.
Right. But it's a fucked up situation too though, because like we always talk about, it's still a lot of people, a lot of companies that was out there probably flourishing before the laws changed and made it, legal in certain cities.
Yeah.
And now that it's legal and they can't effectively get in a legal way, they get in how they live. This is how they made money, by cultivating. This is how they provided for their family. So this is something they've been doing. But just because they only allowing a certain amount of licenses in this area, I can't get a license now because they not fucking with me. I got to wait 5 years to try again or something like that. So what you going to do in between that time? Just say fuck it and move on to something else, or you going to keep doing what you know how to do? And most people is going to keep doing what they know how to do.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that though, because it's almost like you need to take out the home of the free when it comes to like this American thing, because it's like, how are we the home of the free? And it's like, you charging me for water. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm not sure on the actual percentage, but it's like the planet Earth is like 75-80% water or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's some real shit though.
But it's like, it's crazy because it's like instead of like America looking at it like, okay, this is big business. We can get into this stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? We can strengthen our economy. I'm using the word "our" now because it's like I'm speaking as like an American citizen, because this goes across America.
Right.
So like this cannabis lane right here, amongst other lanes, will strengthen the economy. But yet and still, you trying to break the very people that's able to strengthen the economy for some frivolous reasons. It's like water,
Yeah.
before all of this stuff even came into play, before electricity came into play, before, charging somebody for water came into play, people went and sought out wells and water streams, to get and grow these plants free of charge. The only thing I had to do is use my brain to look and see how this water is finna pop up and how can I stream it this way to get this crop to flourish.
Yeah.
Once this crop flourish, I can sell it to these people over here that I can trade with these people that do medicine. I have corn. Oh, these people have rice. They went and they hustled, they used their brain to get water to grow these crops. Yet and still, you hear in 2022, in the home of the free, we got a Senate bill geared towards water prices.
Yeah. It's just a way to crack down. Like I said, it's just a way for them to crack down. And SB 1426 would punish unauthorized tapping into a water conveyance or storage infrastructure, or digging or extracting groundwater from an unpermitted well. Illegal cannabis farming is killing wildlife and wreaking environmental damage across the state. So basically, and a lot of this is taking place, is stemming from San Bernardino, because it's a lot of different going on in San Bernardino, whether be it legal or illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just basically saying, if you don't have your motherfucking paperwork right, don't grow shit. Don't use no water. That's you just got to try your best to go legit.
I can go on a rant all day about certain stuff they saying. The wildlife right here in San Bernardino. We know it gets hot as hell around in San Bernardino. We know in some of them mountains and some of them little hills or whatever it may be, the brush that's there can get too hot and ignite and tear up the wildlife right there. But you're trying to crack down on people for water, but you can use the water to like really keep this vegetation kind of moist, to limit the amount of fires that's going on right there, to limit the amount of wildlife being affected. But it's like I ain't finna go on no rant like that. But this bill right here, I believe it's full of crap. You should let, you know what I'm saying, them cannabis cultivators, you know what I'm saying, cultivate. Let them do what they do, legalize it, and let's make this economy
But
strong.
look, have you thought about this though? Just looking at it from a different standpoint. Okay, so with the boom with weed and stuff, when the shit just started booming, when it became legal, when dispensaries start popping up and stuff like that, though, a lot more people got into growing weed and stuff like that, right? So California has, for whatever reason, always dealt with a drought. You know what I mean? At some point through the year, always dealt with a drought.
Even before the weed, like the farmers going up to 5.
Right,
You
right.
always see that.
But what I'm saying with that is, do you think with we had the farmers that was doing their thing, we had growers, a percentage of weed growers that was doing their thing. Now it's probably 10 times more weed people growing weed. You know what I
Because
mean? So now we got the farmers, we got the people that was already doing it. Now it's 10 times more. So now that's more water being used from whatever reservoir that this water is coming from that we using. So now that might create a reason why they putting a lot of emphasis on a drought when, California, on top of California always saying that we dealing with a drought.
Yeah. It's like I understand that right there, because it's like there are certain places to where it's like where a drought is really used as a drought. They will show certain lakes, certain streams of water. They'll show how it has deteriorated,
Right.
how it's going down. Those are droughts right there. Now coming across like within, I'm just gonna say this Western coast. It's like we right off the beach, and I'm pretty sure like some of these water reservoirs, or however you want to say it, they getting that water stream from somewhere to be filtered out from the planet of this earth, right?
Right.
So it's like I really don't understand that biggie right there. Like that one, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you come at me with some stuff right there, I'm gonna try to figure out every which way to be like, how is you really charging like really for water like this? You know what I'm saying? How can you like say it's a drought where it's like you really have some like some foreign countries to where it's like when they say a drought, it's really a drought. There's no water for vegetation. There's no water for wildlife. There's no water for human life. In some places, it's really that type of drought.
Right.
But this drought right here, it's like it's kind of like hard for me to comprehend when they speak about this type of drought.
Right. Solomon, what you think about them acquiring the drought to illegal cannabis growers?
Well, based on what I see in the story, it sounds like that they're sort of. I mean, granted, they're talking about a drought, and you got to think about it this way: they're making it an emergency situation before it gets worse, right? So we can understand that they're putting a lot of emphasis on that, especially with California, like you said, Serpo. We've always traditionally had drought conditions, but I feel like in a way they're almost sort of picking on cannabis growers, illegal or illegal, because they go with the same old ignorant logic of, they're just making these picture of guys just using gallons and thousands of gallons of water to grow illegal cannabis, when I would imagine if you are a professional cannabis grower, illegal or illegal, there's a certain system to it, just like there is to growing vegetables or anything else, and water is used responsibly. But because they can prey on that just sort of fear of these guys just using water like just rampantly, they can go and introduce these bills, which in my opinion probably won't do very much, because they're already finding different ways to crack down on illegal growing, and those bills are still in place, and so this now just makes it worse by them being able to say it puts fines on and things on it. So I don't think the effect is going to be huge, but at the same time, whoever makes these bills, of course, now it makes them look like they're doing something in front of their constituents.
Right. And I believe in some areas it's gonna be huge, the effect, you know what I mean? Because especially if they really, like, say, have a task force that's out there committed to going to make, the water, damn, they using a lot of water at this location. Let's go check it out. If they on that type of time, I think it's gonna scare a lot of people that's growing off.
But it seemed like it's in fire prone places. It's like everywhere where you see these droughts and stuff at, where they try to, like, say, consume water. It seems as if it's like fire prone places, to where it's like it's extremely hot, and it's like, if you're trying to say they're trying to reserve water for emergencies or whatever it may be, maybe that I can see if it's an emergency. But there's other ways, like, if I'm just saying, if it's an emergency, like, meaning like a fire or something, they have like certain mixtures to where it's like they can condense the fire and put the fire out. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the water drought and people starting to grow and this, that, and the other, some people may have just like stumbled into growing. They started off like, all right, so we can grow once the ball start going. Oh, you can have up to like 6 plants or 12 plants. Oh, so I can grow my own shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know. That water shit is some bullshit.
Everything. When you said stumbled upon, it just made me think, like, the way you stumbled up on your forehead. Look. So look, Los Angeles is trying to implement. They are going to implement an ordinance to like place card program for licensed cannabis businesses. You know what I mean? So what that means is legal businesses will have to go apply for to get the place card to put, to display in their window, to let people know that they 100% legit. So they'll have to go file for it and then get an inspection. They have to be just inspected to make sure that they're doing everything the right way. And, if everything works out, then they get to put the placard in their window. And here we go again. This is another way to crack down on anything that they consider illegal cannabis sales or growing or sales, anything like that. Now, this is more directed to the sales.
I don't know. It's like, to this one, that's why, like, we were talking it up earlier. I was like, it's different type of weed smokers.
Right.
It is with this one right here with the placards in the window. I think I would say I'm not that type of weed smoker, because those placards in the windows, it's pretty much really just assuring the person that this flower has been grown free of pesticides, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? To let you know you're getting a good quality of product or whatever it may be. Meaning is being washed up or whatever it may be. And like, I just prefer like the little underground sesh, or even the one from up the street every now and again, because you finna go in there and get that power. Before all of this stuff even came up, you wasn't worried about like whatever they're trying to put the placard up for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the placard, like, it's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, it's I'll say it's cool for that type of weed smoker,
right,
or that type of consumer, whatever it may be. But then again, you're gonna find your ways to go and get that power.
Right. And like the article say, to me, reading this article is like, it's more so because they want to crack down on illegal sales. Illegal dispensaries that's open, more so than just
they just want to take over, get down and lay down.
For what they stating, basically on some state property shit. Get down and lay down.
Man.
And the only way you can get down is if we let you get down, no. You know what I mean? So
you gotta pay that
we still
shit.
gotta let you in this motherfucker to get down.
You gotta pay to get out.
You know what I mean? And like we always talk about, so like to push to federally decriminalize weed, we're big advocates of that. And it's very important, especially to me, like that it happens, because I know a lot of people that's affected by it, whether they are in jail right now or have records,
Mm-hmm.
or on parole or probation right now. So this shit needs to be resolved, and I'm hoping with the way the way it's going, and the way that I kind of feel a little bit like I feel a little more likely that it might pass this time. It might get there and pass, but like I've stated before, I'm not getting my hopes up to the point to where it's gonna crush me if it don't happen. So
So if you on a road to like really like you really want to see this get passed or whatever it may be, why would you speak to where it's like I don't want to get my hopes up? You know what I'm saying? Wow, like why is that thought there?
because we've been dealing with the disappointment of it not happening for a while now.
They always say we this much closer, or we just
Right.
need to pass this, we pass that. And then once we do pass this and we do pass that, they want us to go past go again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Cause like we talked about before, what is it a rush for them to legalize this shit right now on the federal level? In every state that has some kind of dealing with weed,
what's the slowdown?
they making money. They getting some kind of kickback off of the shit though.
Mm-hmm.
They making money off the shit already. So what's the rush now? Okay, we done figured out how to wiggle and make some money. Let's hold this shit up right for a little while and capitalize it. Then we might let it pass through in a couple years or something.
Yeah. Look, I'm not trying to make like a comparison like that, but I'm about to make a comparison. Like within the past few years, like the little Asian and the Islander little law that they passed to make that like a criminal offense, like if you do anything wrong towards them or whatever it may be.
Right.
They brought that to the attention of certain people. Boom, they implemented a certain type of law to go against that.
Facts.
But here we are, cannabis advocates and cannabis fighters. We've been doing this for years and years and years, but still it's a slowdown. When other stuff come up, they see a problem. Oh, they hurry up and come up with an issue to get past this.
Mm-hmm.
But cannabis, you know what I'm saying, we still like, we always get put on the back burner. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, man, and it's a cold situation, man. But it, like I said, we gonna keep highlighting certain things that we feel like we need to highlight and let people know what's going on, and just talk our shit, talk about this cannabis world and what's going on in it, and the things that we want to highlight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm high as fuck though. Look, we was blowing before we came up, to sit down, and we've been sipping on the Caesar,
Mm-hmm.
and that should have had you right though, man. For like, even for people that drink alcohol, with this, you don't even need no alcohol. You know what I mean? I know Solomon over there like, man, you really don't need none of that
best
shit.
way to smoke mode.
Like, you over there like, you really don't need none of that shit. But yeah, man, we definitely appreciate everybody that taps in with us. We got some good shit coming. The Best Way to Smoke weekly news is coming soon. We hope to hit y'all with that next week. We also got another show that we working on that's in the works. It's gonna be kind of like a reaction show. We can't wait to bring that to y'all. We got our hosting is coming back. Yeah, subscribe. Our hosting is coming back to where we're gonna be going out, to different events and talking to people and finding out what's your best way to smoke, and amongst other things. So stay tuned for a whole bunch of stuff that we look to add to the channel. And I'm Big J.
Serpo Jr. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.
Yes, best way.